Okay, let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive into the early winter hazard outlook for North America. We're looking at December 3rd to the 11th, 2025.
Yep.
And the thing that just immediately leaps out is the single dominant factor. It's all about the La Niña phase of the ENSO.
It is. But it's more than that. It's the fact that it's projected to be at or near its peak intensity right in December.
And that timing is everything.
It is everything. A peak that early in the season, it's not typical. It basically guarantees that we're looking at a very front-loaded season for cold and storms.
So all the action happens right at the start.
Exactly. You're maximizing all the atmospheric forcing mechanisms, the pressure gradients, that southward jet stream shift right out of the gate.
That feels like the foundation for this entire deep dive. We've seen this before, right? In historical analogs?
We have. If you look back at years like 2000 or 2010, these early peaking La Nina events, they always lead to significantly colder Decembers. It sets up this really clear geographical split.
A split in the hazard profile.
A hard split. For the northern tier, we're talking central Canada, the U.S. Rockies, the prairies. It's what we call the highest confidence hazard.
And high confidence just means it's a sure thing.
It means the forecast is pretty straightforward. You're going to get aggressive polar air, extreme cold, and a high likelihood of heavy snow and even blizzard conditions. Planners up there know it's coming.
But then it gets messy as you move south into what the report calls the winter battle zone.
That's the Ohio River Valley and the mid-Mississippi Valley. That's our highest volatility hazard.
So what does that actually mean for someone on the ground? Volatility.
It means chaos. It means you have to be ready for rapid transitions. This is where that Arctic air from the north just slams into the warm, moist air from the Gulf.
So weather whiplash.
Total whiplash. You can see heavy rain and flash floods one day and then a paralyzing ice storm the next. The threats can change in under 24 hours.
And this is where we get the real twist in the source material. A non-seasonal threat. It's flagging an unusually high potential for tornadoes in December.
I know, it sounds strange.
Why are we even talking about that?
It comes down to a really specific atmospheric subtlety. The data shows that the risk for stronger tornadoes actually goes up when a strong La Nina starts to decay and head back toward neutral.
Which is expected right after this peak.
Exactly. That stable, cold air starts to retreat, and the warm, unstable air from the Gulf surges north under a powerful jet stream. You get this incredible atmospheric shear wind changing speed and direction with height, and that's the perfect recipe for dangerous storms.
Okay, let's hit some of the other regional surprises. The Pacific Northwest, Washington, and Oregon.
Right. They're looking at cooler than average temps, but with above normal precipitation.
And that combination is a problem.
It's a hydrological danger. Cooler temps mean the snow line drops, so more of that precipitation falls as rain at lower elevations where people live. That's a serious risk for high volume rainfall, localized flooding, and even landslides.
And on the other side of the continent, Atlantic Canada is getting a completely different story. Below normal snow.
It sounds good, but it's really not. It's not a break.
Definitely not a break. The issue is they're forecast to get more messy storms. So less fluffy snow and more complex mixtures of significant ice and rain. Ice is so much heavier than snow. It brings down power lines, trees. The risk to infrastructure is actually much higher.
Got it. Okay, one last operational note before we wrap up. Something that directly relates to that extreme cold in the north. The National Weather Service changed something recently.
That's right, yeah. In October 2024. For anyone managing operations, you need to know this. They've consolidated their products. The old wind chill advisories and warnings are gone.
And they're replaced with?
It's a new streamlined system. The Extreme Cold Watch and the Extreme Cold Warning. It's meant to be simpler. When you see that warning, it covers all the life-threatening aspects of cold, not just wind chill.
Good to know. So the big picture here, the volatility, the non-seasonal threats, it all ties back to this incredibly intense early La Nina peak.
Absolutely. And that leads to the real long-term thought you need to take away from this.
Which all that snow and moisture that's going to fall across the Great Lakes, the northern plains, the upper Midwest, it doesn't just disappear. That snowpack is loading the system. It directly elevates the risk for significant spring runoff and major flooding in 2026.
Wow. So the planning for next spring's flood season?
It needs to start now, based on this December forecast.